Hey, good morning, everybody. We're out here live outside of in front of Blackstock Stadium. We're getting ready for our philanthropy to benefit the proceeds for Putnam County, the Humane Society out here, and we're getting ready for the football game this afternoon between the Millsaps College Majors and your DePauw University Tigers. Big game for both teams. Playoff hunts on the line. Both teams have one loss. If either team loses, they've never let a two-loss team into the playoffs, so that could become an issue today. But if you come on out, we got burgers, hot dogs, everything. All the whole WGRE staff is over there. Take a look at Tyler Archer over there. Look at him grilling out there with those cheeseburgers. We're trying to raise some money for the Humane Society of Putnam County. And we'll be out here live every DePauw home game. We'll be out here live doing our own tailgate, and we'll have our pregame show every week, every DePauw home game, and you can see us right outside in front of Blackstock Stadium. We'll see you later, and we'll get some. We're going to talk to Brian Casey at halftime, and we'll get some of that up for you as well.
We have here today, 30 yards is 30 yards. That's pretty spectacular for the DePauw defense, and they're going to have to bring that same type of intensity today against Millsaps.
Oh man, when they came out of the gate in that game, they were so fired up, ready to go. I think they loved playing in those conditions because they could dictate to the offense what they were going to do. They were in the backfield. It seemed like every other play making stops for a loss. That DePauw defense, they played so well, but like you said, they're going against a very tough Millsaps team. True, no Juan Joseph this year. He graduated, but nonetheless, Millsaps comes back with a very potent offense. They want to spread the field. They want to pass the ball around. That's something we've seen this Tiger defense struggle with over the course of our few years here at DePauw, Scott. And so they have a tall task ahead of them if they want to repeat that performance from last week.
Oh, absolutely. We're getting ready for the DePauw Tiger football game against the Millsaps College Majors. Myself and Lucy First will be on the call today up in the press box here at Blackstock Stadium. The big news today, the DePauw Tigers are as healthy as they've been all season, including this guy right here, number 18, Spud Dick. He missed last week with a concussion. Michael Inglefield in for him, did very well, completed 40% of his passes in the rain, but you know, that's a pretty tough task to do in the weather he was faced with last week with all the fog and the inclement weather. But Spud will be back today. He knows how important this game is against a very young and inexperienced Millsaps secondary that lost 6 players last year in their secondary, 4 of which were starters. So he is going to be a big key to the game today. He'll be ready to go, and he's going to play. Also back in the lineup today will be Jordan Haverkamp. He's going to be playing this afternoon. He'll be doing kickoffs and PATs and field goals, so he's feeling good. He just had back surgery. We'll see how he recovers from that as well. Unfortunately, we have received a word. Stacey Crawford will not be able to go today. He's likely out for the season. We'll talk with Coach Long more about that. Also, middle linebacker Josh Sturek. He's going to play today after missing a couple games this season. He's been having some back problems as well, but he will be able to go today. So the DePauw Tigers, as healthy as they've been all year. Game kicks off at 1 o'clock. We have all the coverage for you, and we'll talk to President Casey at halftime.
It is halftime here at Blackstock Stadium. The DePauw Tigers lead the Millsaps College Majors 16-7 here at the break. I'm John Herrick. I'm pleased to be joined now by the DePauw President, Mr. Brian Casey. And Mr. President, how do you like the first half of this game so far here on Old Gold Day?
I think it's great. A couple things are great. First of all, we have a really good crowd out here, which is nice. I think some people were tailgating well into the first quarter, but they seem to have come in. But most importantly, we were just talking right on the break that Spud Dick seems to be really feeling confident, looking good. He got knocked around 2 games ago, so it's just nice to see him back. He's really not only the quarterback, but he's a spiritual leader of the team. So it's a good to see him playing so well.
Well, obviously you've been here now almost a full year as president, and I think you've seen how big football is on this campus. So what do you think it does for this university? It seems to do a lot.
Well, first of all, I went to Notre Dame as an undergrad, so I'm familiar with places for which football is a central activity. It is, in some ways, the first among equals among sports because it is the sport that's the spectacle. I mean, it's I'm looking down the field right now, and there's people dancing, and there's cheerleaders, and there's music. So culturally in America, it has a big force. I just like those moments when everyone at DePauw kind of gets together, and these are some of those moments.
We're speaking with DePauw President Brian Casey here at halftime of the DePauw Tiger Millsaps football game. DePauw leads Millsaps 16-7. Mr. President, obviously a lot of last year we talked a lot about how difficult the economy has been on a lot of things here on campus, but this year seems to be a little bit more positive and a little bit more upbeat. How have things been going for you financially? I know you're a very busy man.
I'm very busy. At the Board of Trustees in for the last couple of days, and we went over every line of the budget. the world went through a very difficult time last year, and our endowment went down. Everything we got hit hard. But I think you're right. There's something about the campus this year. I think we kicked it off in a really good way. There was something positive about the campus this year. I'm a big fan of the Adirondack chairs and the ways in which people are interacting. Maybe there's a little moments are starting to add up in some way, but yeah, the campus feels good. I look out my window every day and everyone looks pretty happy. So I don't know what I'm not going to question it. I'm going to just keep hoping it keeps it going forward. Yeah.
Well, obviously, you've been around. You've seen kind of how all these different things go on campus now. You've got the play opening this weekend with Tartuffe. You've got this football game. You've got all kinds of athletic teams in action. You had family weekend this past weekend. What kind of feedback have you heard from a lot of the kids and some of the parents about all these events going on campus?
No, I think they like it. There was. Old Gold is nice. We moved Parents Weekend actually to a weekend without a football game, and I think there was some concern about is there enough to do. And it turns out I think people had a good time anyway. But it's a lot of fun to have a play opening, a football game. There's a soccer game tomorrow. I want to remind everybody. We're also celebrating the 125th anniversary of the School of Music. There's a huge concert tonight. The Prism concert starts at 7. So, it's a little school, but it's a very busy school, which is a good thing.
You're absolutely right. We're speaking with DePauw President Brian Casey here at halftime of the DePauw Tiger football game. And, Mr. President, obviously there's a lot of we see the breast cancer things out there on the initiatives out there on the yard line. It's dedicated to a woman from Millsaps who was just recently diagnosed with breast cancer, her name being Polly. A lot of awareness going on around campus with breast cancer initiatives. We'll see it later when the DePauw volleyball team does their Dig Pink Night. And
I think is that Tuesday night?
That's Tuesday night.
Yeah,
that's Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And we'll see a lot of it with the DePauw women's basketball team a little bit later. What kind of how good is it to see people up there getting the awareness around about breast cancer?
Well, I think it's great. You point out the women's volleyball team, the women's basketball team are doing it, but I think it's great that it's now, football is the only all-male sport. The fact that we have breast cancer awareness during a football game, I think it's fantastic. Because it just makes it wider. I'm actually both my parents recovered from cancer, so I have both sides. So this is something that is deeply, deeply personal for me.
Certainly is. And how are they? There's so many people out there that it's affecting on a personal level. And how would you go about responding to something like that, especially when you see all the awareness out there now that there's even more people here, as you mentioned, that know about it?
Well, it's interesting. My parents are. They're nice people, but they're fighters. I think that they approached when they both face it at quite different points in their lives. They both viewed it as a battle to be won, and they seems to help them fight this battle. So I know they would view this as great because you never know where you can get your help and who's going to be on your side. So they still contribute to the causes and everything, so they would be very happy. They're very pro DePauw at every level, even though they didn't go here. They're very concerned about the football game. So if I weren't up here, I'd call my dad and give him the halftime score, which is very funny.
Well, Father Casey, if you're out there, it's 16-7 right now. The DePauw Tigers leading Millsaps. Mr. President, thank you so much for joining us here. I know you're a very busy man, and good luck and enjoy the rest of Old Gold Day.
Okay, thank you so much.